So good afternoon. So today is we will be discussing about, I mean, walkthrough and introduction to GitHub Action. So this workflow is we will implement what we have discussed in the two previous discussions. We will integrate Bazel in this workflow. So first is, the first part of creating this workflow is you must have this directory. So that GitHub the workflows folder. Then inside the workflows folder is your YAML file. So I just named it master.yaml. So in the first part of this YAML file is this one. These are the events. So in the events is we have only one event on push to this our master branch. So right after this is this one, the jobs. So we have three jobs. So we have target, test, and build. So every job is have multiple steps. So that's how that. So first is we have the target job. So in this target job is we will prepare or cache all needed files or node modules for our whole workflow. For example, let's just walk through. So first is we have the name of our job target, then runs on. You can specify your uh, operating system that you would like to run. For example, Mac OS 11 or latest, like that. So we'll just use the Ubuntu because it's the cheapest one. So next is we have steps. So this one is the checkout action is this built-in action in GitHub. So let me open my Google. This one, these are built-in functions. So what it does is just will check out your code base and clone it or copy it to the runner, to the runner OS. So that's what it does. The next is set up node. So we will be using node in this workflow. That wala pa gamitin mo dili oh. Ipakawan ng manok.
Magpunta sa may ito, 330 pa, dapat daw dito. Siguro hindi dyan niya ako.
Alak ka. Low.
No.
So pa. Look. So next is this one, the cache. We will be caching a file which name affected, and it can be restored using this key. So we'll see this in this steps. Jobs. The next is we will be caching our Bazel for it to be we won't be installing this one in these next jobs yet next jobs. We will just install these ones and we will cache it, and we will restore it in these jobs using cache. Then we will run this script. So this script will this script is what we have discussed the previous session, which is the Bazel query. So this one. So what this shell file does is will get the SHA of the previous commit and of the current commit, and it will get it will differentiate the current commit versus the previous, just -1, it will get uh, the file changes of those two commits. Then it will run this Bazel query. So like so, let's try in my local. Let's bash script. Let's just wait. So here is the file affected. So this is the result of this script, the buildables. So these are the changes of my current commit versus my previous commit. So I made the changes in this index.ts build file. For example, this one, I put a comment. So this file will be cached and will be used in the previous steps. So let's move on. So in the test target, I mean on the next job, the test, so it will need this one, the target job. So what does it mean is that this job won't start unless this job is finished. So it will wait for this job to finish before this will run. So runs on Ubuntu, then service is, this is like Docker, this Docker Compose. So it will spawn Mongo DB on the runner OS. So this will be used for our unit test later. So steps is again check out. We'll check out the code base, then node, then cache. So this block of code will restore the affected file here from our previous step. Then and next is it will restore also the Bazel. I guess we can remove this one. Then it will run the script lint and test, which is this one, lint and test. It will what we have discussed in the previous session, the reverse dependency. So let's try to run this one, lock in this step in our terminal. Then let's just replace this parameter with the affected file. Oops, affected. So let's run. So what this query does is will do a reverse dependency. So it will error, that's one again. That will return the role name that is being dependent of these files. Let's just read error again. So the query is done. So as a result of this one, we have filtered which lint, the lint rule only. So this will be returned. And after that is in the shell file is it will run this command. So Bazel build, then this one, the return. Example, Bazel build, and this one, it will run the lint like so. By the way, in our local, so we just run this in the local, but if we this workflow will be run in the CI, the GitHub action. So the same with the test, it's just the same reverse dependency, then it will do this command Bazel test, then the name of the rule. So that's for the test. So here is our lint task. Next in our build is it's almost the same. This one, we can open this. Then run this script, build and docker. So for our build is build one, Bazel build and Bazel run. So this function is just the same across the script. So let's push these changes and see the result in GitHub option. I'll just trigger it by removing this comment. And let's push. So here is the uh, commit that we have just done. So here is my previous commit. So let's check this first. So here is I made a change in the index.ts. So it run this file. I mean this script. Let's just check the scripts. So it run the lint with just warnings. So it didn't error. Then also the test one. Then successful or something. Then in the build, here the build is successful because the docker didn't run. So if there are no changes on that rule, so it will just return this one and full empty result. So let's check our newly committed action. I mean, so our commit is now finished checking. So let's check. So here in our test, this we'll just check these two steps. And the lint is one. Again, it run the lint with no errors, just warning. And test this one, the unit test. For example, if I have failing test here, say example this is a failed test. So this step will return it will error. This checking will be error. The next is in the build job is we have build here. So it is successful. Then in the Docker, so it is successful. So this step is it will make a Docker image of our API. And so I guess that's it for from my side. So you have any question?
Regarding the uh, English one pasun. It's in the steps. It should be the test comes first before build or yes.
You can do like any order you want.
Okay.
Uh, you can run the test first before the lint. So for me, I like for I guess the best practice, the local.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you must run lint first before the test. So for example, you have error in your code. I mean, in your format or your linting. So it won't run the test for me. So example, uh, if you run the test first, for example, all path, then in your lint, let's say example, there's an error. For me, that's not a good practice, I guess. That's why this is my order. But
Okay.
you can change this anything you want.
Um, okay.
And
Uh,
yeah,
can
I
we see again
the VS
the
Code
type?
this one.
305.
YAML 5. This one.
Yes. Mm.
I have question here.
Um, Regarding the runs on Ubuntu latest, what is that the latest on your uh, device or the latest in the community or in
Uh,
the Ubuntu?
this one is the Ubuntu latest means that the available
Okay.
GitHub is managing this one.
Mhm.
So example, the macOS latest now is macOS 10. If you, say example, macOS latest, if you run this, because I did a workflow in my other project using macOS. So when you do this one, it is tagged macOS 10 right now. It's macOS 10. But in the future, like say November, I guess it's November, they posted it in their page. So when you use this tag macOS latest, it will use the macOS 11, not the 10 anymore. So GitHub manage these tags. So like for example, Ubuntu latest. So you can specify this like 1804 or 2004. But the latest right now uses this one, the 2004. You can check this one here in the setup job. Your operating system, then this one.
Okay, okay.
You can specify the you can specify the version you want to use, like this one or 18.04.
Okay. When you set the version in a single there, should you set for every runs on or
Yes, it must run with the same OS.
okay.
For example, 18.04 here, then you want here 20.04, like that.
Yes, yes, like that.
Uh,
Yes, that's
I
possible.
haven't tried that, but I guess you will encounter error using this cache. If, say example, you cache this file here in the 18.04, then you want to retrieve this in the 20.04, I guess you will encounter problems. You won't restore this one.
Yes, yes.
Like example, test this one. Cache. So here, so like this one, we in the target is we cache the node modules. Where's that? For example, in the target, so we cache this. For example, our Bazel. Then we retrieved it here in the test and also in the build. So I guess you want recover it if you have different OS.
Okay, okay. Mm, I
Uh,
don't think I don't have questions anymore.
uh, I guess and no more
Mm.
question.
So far, I don't have questions.
Okay, so I guess that concludes our session for today. So thanks, Ar.
Um,
So yeah, that's
yeah,
all.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.